The Little Girl and the Village Snake, a parable. The villagers spent an inordinate amount of time contemplating, debating, and strategizing how to best rid themselves of the pesky village snake. For as long as anyone could remember, the snake resolutely remained in the most inconvenient of places, directly in the heart of commerce of the village. Many festivals had been canceled, countless walks diverted, all due to the village snake. Though it seemed reasonable to most that the snake preferred the lush greenery of the square, what frightened people the most had to do with the fact that this snake never seemed to move. If you asked anyone to tell you a story as to why so many feared this monstrous reptile, everyone would be able to offer any number of tales about babies disappearing, people falling ill, crops failing, curses descending on entire households. Should curiosity spur you forward into deeper inquiry and you happen to ask if anyone directly knew or was related to anyone featured in the stories, no one would be able to relay for certain any knowledge or relation. But this would only serve to increase the storyteller's commitment to the moral of these stories. You might find it deeply humorous to watch these villagers choreograph their entire lives and livelihoods, all in service to avoiding the village snake at all costs, because they had heard that getting too close would result in certain death, and even thinking about the village snake might mean damnation for them all. But wait, there you see her, a little girl with a round face and wide eyes that glimmer with something akin to mischief, a light with intelligence. She moves with her eyes trained on the position of this unmoving and unmovable snake as she seeks various perspectives from a distance most would deem as safe, even if they would encourage her to completely banish the thoughts around her observations. You watch intently as she moves with precision, ever closer to the horrible monster, the inconvenient generations of villagers have vilified. You sense she already knows the outcomes of her planned actions, which will only serve to prove her theory. As everyone continues to avert their eyes from the prominent position of where the village snake lies in wait, the girl who had been raised listening to the stories of the snake's appetite for flesh such as hers moves ever closer, cloaked in an invisible armor fashioned by the fears of those around her. Then she stands directly above the snake. She smiles, bends down, and picks it up, raising the rigid serpentine body above her head in triumph. "It's a stick," she cries, "a stick!" Your heart leaps with joy to see this young child dispel the illusion put in place and fortified over centuries. You wait for the villagers to join you in the rejoicing in light of the liberation. But the shouts of celebration do not come. Instead, suspicious murmuring overtakes the silence imposed on those that are hearing. And now, seeing the little girl standing with the rigid reptile raised above her head, the delighted smile on her face, the whispers grow louder. What did she do, they wonder? What witchcraft did she conjure to transform the village snake into a stick? What possessed her to have such courage in the face of the greatest adversary humanity has ever known? They cannot see what you can see. They cannot see what she can see. It challenges them too greatly to consider the spell they have cast on themselves. Instead of the triumph and celebration you anticipated, you watch the villagers descend with malice and suspicion on the little girl. "It's a stick," she cries again, resolutely, even in the face of the threat she sees coming towards her. And this is where you swoop in. Powerful and invisible, felt, not seen, like a gale force wind. You wrap your arms around the little girl and hold her close to you as you travel together to a time and place where you both know the only difference between a snake, a stick, and a wand is imagination.